Hello, this is Tony of Tony's Music. I'm going to start you off with a Doodly tutorial, and I'm going to create a new video with a whiteboard, and it's going to be called Texts, and I'm going to show you how to use texts in Doodly, and I'm going to start off with a resolution of 1080p. Okay, that's done that. Right, now if you go over to the left hand side, you'll see scenes, characters, props and texts at the top tabs for the left hand side, and if you click on the text ones you get all the texts, fonts and things like that, so you can just pull them over and they go on to the area like that. If you want to add a font, you click the addition sign and browse for the ones that you want, and if the TTFs, they should be okay, true type fonts, and then you just continue and that should come up like that. That's pretty neat, but I don't want it at the moment. I'm just showing you how to do it. Right, I'll just take that one off, leave this one on, and I've just singly clicked it rather than double clicked it, because I wanted to show you it's got like the tracing round it, and it's got these little handles on each area here, like the middle, the corners, the middle there, corner there, middle there, corner there and middle there. Right, so it's got 8 handles on there, and it's also got a rotate handle. These handles to resize it with constraint, obviously, because the font size has constraints on it, so you can't stretch it out of its particular ratio. Really, it has to be in ratio with the text font, so you can make it bigger and smaller and that, but you can't really constrain get it out of the constraints really. So but it's useful anyway. And the rotation rotates around the center like that, and you can go both ways, so it's no problem. And as well as that, there is also a rotation. If you look on the top of the area there, you got the icons here, and this one here is like a cogwheel. That one's the asset settings for the actual text box. So if you go in here, and you'll see the fourth one down is rotate. That's the same as that really, so you can use that to rotate it to a specific amount, like a 1%, 1 degree or whatever, either way that you want. You want a specific degree angle, you can do that way, and this one you should do your best to get it as close, you know. But as well as that, the top piece here is the X and Y is the pixels down across and the pixels down from the top to the, I think it's to the top left hand corner spot of the text box. That's what it usually is anyway, but that's what it's supposed to be. And that's your font size there, which is 127, which is quite large really at the moment. As well as that, we got the colour. This is where we used to change the colour, but they've changed that now, so this is now obsolete. I assume they're going to put something else in there, like maybe change to right hand writing rather than left hand. So for people like people who want to do Arabic fonts and things like that, they might have put that in there, right hand font in there or something. And you got your opacity here, which is 100%, which means it's completely solid, so you can't see through the font at all. Whereas if you had it, say like 30%, which I'll show you now, you put it in 30%, it will be semi see-through, and I'll prove to you what it actually does by putting a aceton, which is that one, and that's in front at the moment. And if I take that to the back, right, so I'm going to take that back, and as you can see the apple leaf and the other part of it through the actual text, so you can see it's there through the text, can't you? right? So that's what opacity does. If you got 100%, it's completely solid, so you can't see nothing through it. If it's a 0%, you wouldn't see the text at all, it'd be invisible. And 30% makes it semi-solid, or 50% does as well. But you know, you can vary to go into what you want. Okay, that's that. Right now I've made it back solid. As you can see, you can't see nothing through it now like you could before. Okay, right now I'm going to carry on with explaining to you some of these things. Right, the enter animation is how it first starts being on the screen, so it'll be drawn on the screen like as if they're writing, and it's going to take 1.5 seconds to do it, to draw it, but you can make it longer, so say make it take 5 seconds to do the actual whole of the text there. And you can add a sound when it starts, like a blast or something, and you can do more than one if you want to. You can do a couple of blasts. So if you do that, what you got to remember is, however many sounds you do, if it takes longer than 5 seconds to do the blasts, it won't do all of them. It'll only do up to the 5 seconds of how long it takes to draw the animation. Right, so let's show you that first. Let's just take the apple off, because you don't want that at the moment. Right, now let's preview it, and you'll see. Right, see, there you go. That was pretty reasonable. Right, now I'm going to go back into the settings on that, take that back down to 1.5 seconds, because that's what it was before, wasn't it? Oops, 1.5. Right, now if you put an exit animation on, like erase, because that's all there is, that's the only exit animation it's got at the moment. They might add more in the future, we'll see. And you can add a sound to that, so you can add a different sound if you want to, like a boing. Right, but let's show you what happens now. Right, now if we do this, you'll put it, and erase it before you've had a chance to read it, so that's not very good, is it? Now if you do that, that's a problem. Right, so you could do what I did before, which was make it take longer to write it, but that still doesn't stop it from erasing it straight away. If you want to leave a gap before it erases it, what you need to do is you'd have to go on the settings here, click off the exit animation and change it to none. Then you'd have to apply that. Then you'd have to go to scene settings, take off the swipe and change it to none as well, and add extra time at the end of that, say however long it might take you to want to read it, say 6 seconds, and apply that. Then you'd have to go to the actual scene on the timeline and duplicate it, and then the duplicate one, you'd have to go onto the actual text settings and take off the draw, take that to none, and use the exit animation as erase, and then apply that. And then I'm going to show you what happens there. Right, so that gives you a bit of time to read the text message before it erases it, which it'll erase it. There you go. So that's how you can do that. Right, so now you know how it erases after a certain length of time.